So for those of you suffering from lower back pain, whether it's from a lumbar disc herniation or arthritis or degeneration, this video today is going to help go over your sleeping posture and even your seated posture and go over some improvements to better protect your spine. I'm Dr. AJ Passes from Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. And again, low back pain, lumbar disc herniation, all of these present into our office on a regular basis. Now, don't forget to like our video, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you're first to know about our new videos, but most especially share this with those who you think would benefit from the video as well. Okay, so to start off with, we're going to be going over the sleeping postures. Now, there are three main postures that we could possibly find ourselves in at night, and sometimes there's a mixture of the three. But what we want to do is, with our best practices, be deliberate in how we are sleeping at night or whatever posture we're holding ourselves in. So the main three are sleeping on your stomach, sleeping on your side, and sleeping on your back. And one out of the three is by far the worst possible posture for your back, especially your lower back. So sleeping on your stomach is by far the worst, right? And I'm going to explain exactly why that is. So when you are sleeping down or sleeping on the bed on your stomach, we want to think of your spine obviously in this posture here. Now, typically in your lower back, there should be a curvature going in this direction. But what starts to happen is when you're sleeping on your stomach, your body starts to settle with the mattress and starts to settle with gravity. So over time, what starts to happen in this posture is your lower back curvature starts to flatten out like this, right? Now, in addition to that, what would happen up into the neck is you wouldn't be breathing into your pillow while you're sleeping on your stomach. The tendency is that you're going to cause a rotation or rotate your head, your neck towards one side. So imagine the imbalances that might draw into your posture as well. So with sleeping on your stomach being the worst one, sleeping on your back and sleeping on your side are good postures, but there's ways to make it better, all right? So we're going to start off with sleeping on your back, and typically you'd be looking like this. And like I said, into the lower back, we want to maintain a certain curvature. Now, even when you are sleeping on your back, what you'll notice is that maybe with your feet straight out when you're lying down, you may feel a little bit of stress still accumulating, especially in the lowest part of your lumbar spine. That's because when you are sleeping on your back, your body does settle with the mattress and with gravity a little bit, but not to the same degree as when you're sleeping on your stomach. So to even minimize that sort of stress, even when you're on your back, the best thing that you can do is to take a pillow and just have it go underneath your thigh or underneath your knees. So what that would do is actually flex your legs up in this position to minimize the strain into your lower back, right? In addition to that, we want to think about your head posture as well. We're always mindful of the whole spine. So think of it this way, especially looking at me from the side. You want a thickness of a pillow that does not allow your head to move in this direction, because you can see in this profile, it is a bad posture. So whatever pillow you are using, you want to have it more on the flatter side so that your head and your neck are in line with the rest of the spine. Because yes, your head and your neck posture can even cause strain going down even into the lower back as well. So the other posture that we want to go over is your side sleeping posture, right? Now, one thing to note is that a lot of people find it very comfortable to get into what we call a fetal position. They're all curled in like this. And although it might feel comfortable, especially if throughout the day you're in a rounded posture, you can see how this is bad for your overall, alignment, right? So we want to stay away from that as much as possible. So think of it as having your body at a 90-degree angle at every joint here, right? So going down into the hips and then down into the knees as well, right? So when you're sleeping on your side, a couple of things that we want to be mindful of is your leg position. So imagine I'm going to be sleeping on top of this leg right over here. What would happen is the top leg would just fall on top of it like this, right? So what we want to do to minimize this turning in and this tug and pull onto the pelvis is you want to have a pillow go right in between the legs like this, similar to this. Because what you'll notice is that it keeps the top leg nice and level so it's not falling in on top of the other leg and causing a tug and pull onto the pelvis and lower back and reducing the rotation into there as well, okay? In addition to that too, you want to be mindful of the posture of your neck. Remember, we want to keep this in line with the rest of the spine as much as possible. So the pillow that you use for your neck, you want it to cover the distance of your shoulder, right? Specifically, if it was too thick, you would be going in the opposite direction, right? If it's too thin, you'd be falling in like this. Again, we want to keep things in line as much as possible, so have a pillow right in through here so it minimizes too much of a sway from side to side. All right, so next we're gonna go over the seated posture, and what we're gonna do for the purposes of today's video is we're gonna talk about how to sit in front of a desk properly. Now, some of the same things as to how you sit in the chair can be applied whether you're sitting at home or even if you're sitting in your car for a long commute. Some of the same general principles apply. But the way that we're gonna do this is we're gonna start from the bottom and work our way up, just to maximize our posture here as much as possible. So in a general sense, what you want to be mindful of is you want things to be at rest as much as possible. You don't want to be overusing muscles that you don't need to when you're sitting down in front of your computer. So thinking about the legs specifically, right? The best to actually position yourself is to have your feet planted on the floor. And the reason being is if you're tucked in like this, there's actually a lot of tug and pull going on into your legs, pulling onto your pelvis and even into your lower back. So again, you want things at rest as much as possible. So try this out for yourself. From here to here, you'll notice that things are generally at rest in this position. So 90 degrees, feet planted on the floor. However, some people do like to have their legs out like this in front of them at their desk, but make sure that your feet are planted on some sort of footrest, generally a 45-degree angle footrest, to make sure you're not floating up into the air with your feet here and activating muscles you shouldn't be, okay? Now, where you're sitting in your chair is very important too. You shouldn't be sitting far up like this in front of your work. You want to sit as far back as possible so that you're actually using the backrest of the chair for support. All right, so as you can see on this chair specifically, we have a cushion. And the reason being is because you want to be mindful of your lower back curvature. Typically, you should be curved back like this where your stomach is pushing out. You don't want anything to allow your stomach to kind of sink in like this where you start to lose some of that curvature, okay? So having a pillow here, a lumbar support, you can roll up a towel, a sheet, whatever it is that'll help you push your belly forward. You want to maintain that curvature as much as you can, right? And I want you to try this as well, is when you're sitting in your chair, a lot of people think that sitting straight up like this is actually, well, it looks good, right? But what you'll start to notice is that a lot of the stress actually builds up into your lower spine, and you want to minimize that as much as possible. So the support will add to that, but you kind of want to sit a little bit of a recline as well with that forward push so that it distributes the forces a little bit more, the stresses a little bit more throughout the spine. Now, when we're talking about the arm position, this is very important too, because the moment you have things floating up in the air, you're going to start activating into the shoulders, which will then eventually translate into the neck and cause some strain there. So you want to have as much support for your arms as much as possible. So generally you want to have an armrest, and it'd be even better if you have one that's adjustable to adjust to a certain height that's comfortable for you. So typically with your elbows close to 90 degrees, right? You want to be able to position yourself so that pretty much everything up to your wrist is being supported, so you're not activating things that you shouldn't be, okay? Make sure that your keyboard is nice and close, so again, you're not overreaching, and same thing with your mouse as well, all right? Now, your head and your neck position is very important too. As you can see with the monitor here, we've adjusted it. I mean, you can do it yourself, right? But they have monitors that you can adjust the height, but you want it to be at eye level. Now, a general rule for this is that whatever you are looking at, whether it's a device, a monitor, a book, you want it at eye level as much as you can. And the reason being is you don't want your head moving back or down, especially like this, where your head and your neck now become susceptible to gravity, all right? So you want to keep things at eye level, and if you have to look up and down at anything, you want to use your eyes only and not your head to do so, okay? Especially those of you who work with dual monitors, right? Whatever monitor you are looking at, try to turn to that monitor instead of turning like this to look at it. Otherwise, you can see the imbalance that picks up in your neck and your head there, right? Now, your posture is very important, but far more important than that as well is how long you're spending sitting down, because your muscles, your joints, they start to settle into whatever posture you find yourselves in. So a general rule for this as well is that take breaks every 30 minutes if you can, to just get up, move around, and then sit back down to reset your posture, because sometimes we're not always mindful of it and we start to lose our posture over time. So taking regular breaks not only allows your body to move and breathe, but it also gets you to change your posture when you're sitting down again. So you can set an alarm on your phone just to remind yourself, set notifications, so that again, every 30 minutes you're getting up to move around and give your body a break, all right? So just like we are, try to get into this position. As you can see in here, we love our videos so much that we want to watch it ourselves, right? But again, try to get into these postures so you can spare your spine from any stress. And also, don't forget, just like this, if you like our videos, don't forget to press the like button, subscribe to our future videos as well, or to our channel, so you can see, again, and be notified about the videos that we put out. But also, if you have any questions, suggestions for future videos, leave it in the comment section below, just down over here, all right? So we know the necessary questions that you guys have to be answered, all right? So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to like and share this video, and subscribe and click the notification bell to see our weekly videos.
To learn more about how Wellness Chiropractic and the Active Family Chiropractic and Wellness Center can help you with your chronic pain problems, please visit www.wellnesschiropractor.com.
The Active Family Chiropractic and Wellness Center is located at 80 Queen Street South in Mississauga, Ontario, L5M1K4.